Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam.
Radhe Radhe.
आप कैसे हैं? श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील पावन गुरुवर्ग की जय, पति पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Because you're going through Radharman, take off your internet. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So we're having a difficulty with our main internet. So we're going off a different internet. Please forgive us in advance if and when problems do occur. We will try our best to adjust to the best of our abilities. In fact, Facebook right now seems to be very sluggish in general. Other web pages are opening up, but Facebook is sluggish. So try not to, I guess you guys can use other one, it doesn't really matter because I'm using Kishori for this. Okay, set this up. Hare Krishna. Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari. Page 1, Mangalacharan, that's in this book here, Shigori Giti Gucca. Page 1, Mangalacharan, starting with Vandeham, Vandeham, Vandeham.
Chaitanya Leelamritasaarasaar Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapatye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Iti Namine Ati Charitraya Swashritanam Chaparine Jiva Dukhe Sadarkaya Shri Nama Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyan Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupananda Bhaktina Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatanine Rupanugam Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagyamurtaye Viprayambhar Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirneshta Sajanapriya Vaisnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pango Mamandamatirgati Vatsaramasvattanam Gojo Radha Madanamohano Divyam Vrindaranya Srimad Ratnagara Sinhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Dev Preshthari Senyamano Smaran Gopinath Shreestunah Vrindaye Tulasidevyai Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupasvarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Vairava Chandrika Vidyavadhi Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadadam Sarvatmosnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Rameva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiram Yata Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare
Shri Guru Charana Padma.
It's page 28 in the book, and it starts Shri Guru Charana, C-A-R-A-N-A.
About S-R-I, Shri.
But they can do Shri Guru, but Charana, because many might have.
Okay.
Other international incidents.
Would you like to read Shri Guru Charana Padma?
Shri Guru Charana Jai Hare Krishna. Kapakoro Vaishnava Thakur, page 40, starting with K-R-P-A, Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur.
Thank you once again, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, for always providing so much nectar, and also in the thread, the words to all of the bhajans. There are new people coming.
Dandava Pranam Jiva Pavana Prabhu and all. Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Oh Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Sambandha janiya bhajite bhajite abhimano bhavura. Sambandha janiya bhajite bhajite abhimano bhavura. O Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Amito Vaishnava Ekhi hoiye amanina hoyami. Amito Vaishnava Ekhi hoiye amanina hoyami. Pratishtha shayasi hridaya doshine. Pratishtha shayasi hridaya doshine. Hoi gunero yogami. Hoi gunero yogami. Tomaro kinkoro apane janibo. Guru yogi manyaji. Tomaro kinkoro apane janibo. Tomaro yujishta padajalarindu. Tomaro yujishta padajalarindu. Sada nishtam pate bhaji. Sada nishtam pate bhaji. O Kripakoro Vaishnava Thakur. Nijhe shrestha jani uchishta vidani ubeyo bhimano bharo. Nijhe shrestha jani uchishta vidani ubeyo bhimano bharo. Hari Shisha Tamo Bhakiya Sarvana. Hari Shisha Shuniyachi sadhumuke bole sarvajan. What page?
51.
51. Starts with S-U-N-I-Y-A-C-H-E. Shuniyachi. Srila Goswamipada ki jai, Shri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai. Shuniyachi sadhu mukhe bole sarvo jana. Shri Rupa kripayo mile yugala chara. So
page 92.
Page 92. Nitai Goranam Ananderodham Je Jana Nahi Loy. Chandas Thakur.
Jai Guru.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Jai
पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि की जय। Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande. Page 343. Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande. Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande. Krishnadeva Bhavantam. Oh Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna. Vrindam Bihari Lal ki jai. Radhika Charana Padma. Page 102, Radhika Charana Padma. Starting with Radhika, R-A-D-H-I-K-A, Radhika. Radhika Charana Padma Sakala Shreyera Sadma. Radhika Charana Padma Sakala Shreyera Sadma. Jatone Jinahi राधा पद मीरा प्रभु कृष्ण नाही मिले राधा दासी कृष्ण सब वेद बोले छोरत धन जन Krishna Hare Nityananda Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ki Jai, Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Radha Raju Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Hare Rama Sankirtan Ki Jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari.
Just a little high.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namine Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times unto the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad Ashtottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. In the same thousands of Dandava Pranam unto the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad Ashtottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including those who are participating with us today, my Dandava Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So today, we are continuing with Going Beyond Vaikuntha. This is our Srila Gurudev's classes, his Bhav Anuvad manifestation from his heart, his commentary on the words of Srila Sanatan Goswami, which are found in Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So before beginning, I would like to offer the prayer from Raghunath Das Goswami to Sri Sanatan Goswami. Vairagya Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Apayanam Mam Anubhipshamandam Kripam Budirya Paraduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Begging in the dust of the lotus feet of our Gurudev and Sri Sanatan Goswami that may even a particle of the mercy which is present within these pages manifest within our hearts. So interestingly, today I was engaged in research on a very beautiful subject. Shri Ballavi Jivan. So, previously when we were discussing from this book, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj was talking about this mantra, this kirtan which was given by Jayanta to Gopkumar. What was that? Shri Krishna Gopala Hare Mukunda Govinda He Nanda Kishora Krishna Ha Shri Yashoda Tanaya Prasida Shri Ballavi Jivana Radhikesha. So Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj was elaborating that within any kirtan or any mantra that we're chanting, one should and would also naturally focus upon the Ishtadev of their life. Who is my eternal Lord? What is the form of my eternal Lord? What is the nature of my service to my eternal Lord? What is my eternal sarup in service, means my eternal form, in service to the eternal form of my particular Lord? Why am I saying my particular Lord? Because, according to the instructions of all of our Rupanuga Guru Varga, if one wants to attain the goal of Prema Bhakti in Raga Marg, which is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to awaken, Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharan, then one must be exclusive and one-pointed toward a particular Ishtadev and a particular goal. Ishtadev means the particular form of my heart's connection to the Lord, which is already inherent within my soul. It's already present there, in potential. Like, as I mentioned before, an apple tree with all of its apples is present within the seed of an apple, in potential. It has not yet manifested, but it is present inside. So, in the same way, as one is doing any kirtan, as one is doing their sadhana, as one is doing parikrama, as one is offering their pranam or worshipping any Thakurji, as one is taking shelter of Harinam Prabhu, no matter what anyone is doing in bhakti, they should always have their goal, their particular goal, as their vrat. That this activity I am doing for the attainment of that particular goal. Then we can be said to be one-pointed, or exclusive, or unalloyed. This is the meaning of unalloyed devotional service. Unalloyed, unmixed. One-pointed, ananya, ekantik. Without any other, exclusive. Exclusive. What kind of exclusivity? Srila Raghunath Das Goswami tells us in Sri Manashiksha what kind of exclusivity we should have toward our particular Ishtadev. How do we know who our particular Ishtadev is? We can't know on our own. But by coming into contact with a pure Vaishnava, someone who knows the truth, who sees the truth, who experiences the truth, who has realized their svarup, their eternal form in their eternal relationship with their particular Ishtadev, the Supreme Lord, they can detect the nature of our soul, and they can awaken us to that nature by their association. This is why it is so essential to be under guidance. Bhakti means to be under guidance. Bhakti cannot manifest without being under Anuragi Jan guidance. Tishtham Rajetat Anuragi Jananugami. This is the most important aspect of bhakti. That it is under guidance, it is being directed, it is being assisted, it is being nourished, and it is being helped by someone who is sajati ashai snigdha. Means who is like-minded. Like-minded means that I want my mind to be like them. Not that their mind is like my mind at this point. But that I want to awaken my nature like theirs. Sajatiya shai snigdha. They must be affectionately inclined toward us, and they must help us. We need help from where we're at. So in this case, if we take shelter of such a personality, then they can detect the inner nature of our soul and direct us on the path of sadhan, the path toward our particular goal. All of those activities that they give us to do on the path of bhakti will be favorable for the attainment of our particular goal. This kind of association, yes?
Okay, so Anuradha Dasi says,
Hare Krishna.
so beautiful. Would you be able to share your daily discipline schedule, your sadhana, to
Not right
inspire
now.
us to be more focused on didi worship, cooking and offering, chanting rounds, and then,
So Taruni Gopi is also wondering the same thing. Maybe we could do that, like as a proper lecture one day, speak about just general how to...
Did you hear that? So Sudevi suggesting that we can have a class dedicated to daily sadhan and what are the practices that are favorable for the awakening and the attainment of Rupanuga Bhakti that our Gurudev and our Guru Varga have given. So we'll discuss that more in depth another class because it's quite a big subject, the daily sadhana. But this particular subject that we're doing today is touching on that. So forgive me that I won't go into that right now, but we will go into it. Okay? So in this case, our Gurudev has been explaining that when you are doing any kirtan, then you would focus on the aspect of that kirtan which awakens your particular relationship with your Ishtadev. In this case, Gopkumar is focusing on the words within the mantra for himself which have the most impact or the most benefit for the awakening of his particular bhav, which is Sakya bhav. He's a cowherd boy in Krishna Lila. This is his potential. Therefore, he's focusing on Yashoda Tanai. But then Gurudev is explaining that Radhikesha, this will be for gopis. Those who are manifestations of Srimati Radhika, who also relish divine transcendental pastimes, sambhog itchamayi, with Krishna, and kamatmika prem. I was telling you about Raghunath Das Goswami. What kind of exclusivity he's trying to show us. He is written about and spoken about in Srimana Shiksha, and then our Guru Varga have given even more examples of exclusivity. So Raghunath Das Goswami says, Katha Mukti Vyagra. Even hearing about mukti or liberation into the effulgence of the Lord, even this katha, this is like a wide open mouth of a tiger which will devour us. In other words, stay far away from that. Rupa Goswami states in this connection, Bhukti Mukti Spriha Javat Pishachi. That the desire for mukti, or this is liberation, or the desire for material enjoyment, the desire for it is like a witch, which will devour everything, which will take everything from us. So he's saying this desire for that is like a witch. Then Raghunath Das Goswami, we've seen in his own character. I want to tell the next thing. He says, even iti Lakshmi Pati Vyoma Nayanim, even Lakshmi Narayan, because that is not his goal, then he's offering pranam to that, but that is not his focus. And our Gurudev explained that even among the 64 limbs of bhakti, which Rupa Goswami himself has given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, not all of them are favorable for the attainment of Braja Prem. That's why on our own and reading on our own, we might not understand properly, and we can actually engage in activities which could be detrimental to the attainment of our particular goal. That's why we must be under the guidance of any ragatmik anuragi personality, a real Brajbasi. But it can't just be any Brajbasi, because someone came to Raghunath Das Goswami with a bowl of buttermilk, and he recognized that the bowl was a different size and shape from the bowl he was normally used to at Radha Kund. So immediately he recognized, where is this coming from? And they said, Saki Stali. Now Raghunath Das Goswami, we have to understand, is a transcendental personality. He's already attained perfection. Even in Vilap Manjali, he's bouncing back and forth between Sadhaka Bhav and Siddha Bhav. And yet, we have heard that when they brought this buttermilk from Saki Stali, Raghunath Das Goswami immediately became very angry and chased that person far away. Why? Because Saki Stali is the place of Chandravali. Even though Chandravali loves Krishna more than anyone, second only to Srimati Radhika, and is worthy of our deepest respect and honor, still, when you get into the depths of Leela, Chandravali is the Yuteshwari, or the leader of the group of gopis that is Vipaksha, opposite to Srimati Radhika and her group. They are not Swapaksha, they are Vipaksha to Srimati Radhika. And our goal, our hope, our aspiration is Dasyayate mama rasostu satyam to Srimati Radhika. Tattat bhavichatmika ichamayi. To become a maidservant of Sri Radha. That is the goal of all true Rupa Anugas. Our Gurudev explained this again and again and again 1,000 times. So Raghunath Das Goswami chased this person away. And then in the purport of this section of Srimana Shiksha, Sri Gurudeva and the Vaishnavas are explaining, and I've heard this katha many different times, that there was someone who was residing in Vrindavan, at Govardhan, at Radha Kund, serving Srimati Radhika. But then he went on a pilgrimage to Dwarka. And what happened when he went to Dwarka? In Dwarka they brand you with hot irons. He got the brandings of Dwarka. And when he came back to Braj, he wasn't feeling any more connectedness. He was feeling disconnected. Why? He was wearing the brand of Dwarka. Why does this make a difference? The gopis of Vrindavan experienced the most extreme anguish of separation from Krishna because he left and went to Mathura and then Dwarka and had not returned. So this is not favorable to the attainment of Brajabhav. Srimati Radhika did not accept him. So how did he get out of that? He had to leave that body and then again come back. Our Gurudev explained, how exclusive must our goal be? So in this case, in the case of Sri Gopkumar, Srila Gurudev is speaking, but then he's speaking to us, those who have come to this path of Rupanuga Bhakti. What do we hear in our, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's pranam? Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Da. Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Da. He's giving Rupanuga Bhakti. This is a very particular form of Bhakti. In the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but very exclusive, very particular. And our Gurudev said again and again in different locations, the fact that you have come to me, and you were here at the time just after Mahaprabhu, coming in the line of Rupa Goswami, of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, my Gurudev, you are coming here to hear this kind of katha. It should be known that 99% of you have within the intrinsic nature of your soul the seed form of service to Srimati Radhika and Krishna in Vrindavan, following in the line of Sri Rupa Manjari. He said 99%, maybe one or two may be of any other mood, but otherwise you would naturally go to any other sampradaya where your inherent bhav or your inherent swarup could be nourished. So you could go to the Lakshmi Sampradaya or which is who's that? Ramanuja Shri Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbaditya. We can go to any other sampradaya. But the fact that we've come to this sampradaya and come specifically into this line, and the fact that Krishna himself is endeavoring to taste the bhavs, the moods of Srimati Radhika, up to Modan and Madan, endeavoring to taste that highest bhav. This is Krishna, in desiring to taste the moods of Srimati Radhika as Sri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as he's tasting, he wants to give something also. He's tasting this Unata Ujvala Rasa, this highest, most extreme nectar. And he wants also to share it, but that is the property of Srimati Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka, and those gopis. And Krishna is endeavoring to taste it, but no jiva can have exactly that experience. So what is he distributing? Our Gurudev again and again and again explained, Unatojvala rasang swab bhakti shriyam, from this beautiful prayer composed by Rupa Goswami, which pleased Mahaprabhu, And Mahaprabhu requested all the devotees, you should bless him fully, that he can write my heart, Vaisnava Grantha, books, that he can write, that he can manifest these pastimes of Krishna. So Mahaprabhu engaged all in blessing Rupa Goswami. And he wrote this very beautiful prayer. Anarpitat charing chirat gurunayavatin nakalo samarpayitum unatojvala rasang svabhakti shriyam harihi purata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratu vah shachinandana. May the Sri Shachinandan manifest within the inner caves of your heart. Hridaya kandare. Spuratu means making manifest himself within the inner core of your heart. He has come after so long, samarpayitum. How long? After a day of Brahma, which is a long, long time, 8,640,000,000 years. After the time of Krishna, then Mahaprabhu comes. Not every Kali Yuga. Once every 1,000 Yuga cycles. That means a day and a night of Brahma. It's a long time. So it seems like forever. This is how rare he comes. How rarely he comes. To do what? To give what has not been given in history. There it says ever before. Samarpayitum, to give. Unata ujvala rasang svabhakti shriyam. The beauty, svabhakti, of that mood of Unata ujvala rasa. So the beauty of that mood is manifest as Rupanuga Bhakti. What Mahaprabhu wanted to give, Rupa Goswami established in this world, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. He established the inner heart's desire of Mahaprabhu in this world, and that is to awaken those personalities who within their intrinsic nature have the inherent tendency to serve Radha and Krishna within the Nikunjas of Vrindavan under the guidance of the gopis, the Svapaksha gopis, and their maidservants. Svapaksha means those who are favorable to Srimati Radhika. So here Srila Gurudev is giving the indication that for us, when we are chanting this, Shri Krishna Gopala, Hare Mukunda, Govinda He Nanda Kishora Krishna, Ha Shri Yashoda, Tanaya Prasida, Shri Ballavi Jivana Radhikesha. He said in the Shri Ballavi Jivan, there is a bhav, a very important, hidden, deep bhav. Bhav means the mood of the heart. So he's saying to some devotees the name Radhikesha will not be given. To them the name Shri Ballavi Jivan will be given. If a devotee has no desire to become a sakhi, that means a gopi, but wants instead to become a maidservant, manjari, and render service that assists the amorous pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna from that position, then the name Shri Ballavi Jivan is given to them. But those who chant Radhikesha will become sakhis. As we progress in sadhana, we will be able to better understand these subtle points. It doesn't mean that if we just chant Radhikesha, 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 or Yashodatanai, Yashodatanai, we will become sakhis or cowherd boys. We cannot become what our inherent soul's nature is not. We've already mentioned this before. An apple seed never becomes an orange tree. An orange seed never becomes an apple tree. We can try, but we will only find frustration in the end. That is why it is so important to be under guidance. What is our guidance? That is the gardener. The expert gardener is Sri Guru, and he knows exactly what kind of nourishment we require, how much sunlight, how much water, how much warmth, how much protection we need to be able to help us to grow to our full and proper potential. So Jayanta didn't tell these secret things to just anyone, only to Gopkumar. I just wanted to mention that I was speaking about this point, Ballavi Jivan, with one devotee who's been with Srila Gurudev for many, many, many years. And she mentioned to me that this name Balavi Jivan. Balavi is the name for Srimati Radhika, but Balavi Jivan would mean the life and soul of Balavi. So there's two meanings of that. Life and soul of Srimati Radhika might be Krishna. Of course it is Krishna. But also she has so much vatsalyata, a protective mood, mamata, almost parental mood toward her own maidservants. So they are also considered like her life and soul. So this Balavi Jivan, for those who are aspiring to awaken that bhav in the heart, this will be the main focus of that mantra, that kirtan. If we're chanting that kirtan, Shri Krishna Gopala Hare Mukunda Govinda He Nanda Kishora Krishna Ha Shri Yashoda Tanaya Prasida Shri Vallavi Jivana Radhikesha. And we focus our energy, our heart and everything specifically on that point, Shri Vallavi Jivan. And the same thing when we're taking shelter of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Even Srila Prabhupada, what did he tell us it means? He gave us a very simple, basic, foundational, and easy definition. O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. This is what he gave us. Loving service. Okay. Of course it's loving. So Jayanta didn't tell these secret things to just anyone, only to Gopkumar. Then while Gopkumar was looking the other way, again Jayanta vanished. With dazzling effulgence and the speed of electricity, he would appear, tell Gopkumar one or two things, and then disappear. This is also very important. As we're progressing on the path of bhakti, our relationship, our internal relationship with our Gurudev should be becoming deeper and deeper, not further away. What did Srila Prabhupada say? I never felt that I was separate from my Gurudev. I always felt the presence of my Gurudev. And he behaved and acted in such a way, always. Our Gurudev said, I call out to my Gurudev and he communicates with me. Rupa Goswami communicates. If you have that kind of depth of relationship and mamata, you can call out to your Gurudev and your Gurudev can reciprocate with you. This is told also in Srimad Bhagavatam. For those who are liberated, then they can communicate directly with the Supersoul. Until that time, we must have guidance. But still we can cry and pray to our Gurudev and he will send so many messages and messengers in so many different ways to help us.
Balabhadra Prabhu is asking a very good question. He said, how can we reconcile that her love is undivided if she, Srimati Radhika, has affection for her maidservants as well as Sri Krishna?
Pradhyanam samarchanam. Srimati Radhika can never neglect anyone who's trying to offer their hearts in service for Krishna's pleasure. Her maidservants are in love with her and Krishna's love, and everything about them is how to assist and serve that. So how can she neglect them? Her attachment to them, is in relation to that seva which will give Krishna so much pleasure. So we cannot call it a separate thing. It is directly related to giving Krishna pleasure. In the same way that, let's say Gurudev is doing arti to Thakurji, and he's standing right there, and you give him the next article. He's not separating you and the article. This is all being offered. This is all utilized in seva. If you weren't there to give the article and the article wasn't present, then this could create a disturbance. You're making a garland or giving a flower to Gurudev. Gurudev is giving to his, and it's going up the line, if you want to call it that, to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So in this, she doesn't have any, it's not that there's not exclusivity. Exclusivity means whatever comes into my vicinity, everything is utilized exclusively for the service of Krishna. This is known in our Vaishnava circle as Yukta Vairagya, utilizing everything in the service of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada gave the example on the disappearance festival of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He said, just for example, this microphone, and he started tapping it. He said, ordinarily, it's just matter, mundane matter. But because it is being utilized in the service of Krishna, it has become spiritualized. So he's seeing that this is serving Krishna. Therefore, the energy, the matter which makes this up, is also becoming spiritualized. Those personalities who are exclusively using their love and affection in service to assist Srimati Radhika to better serve Krishna are included as part of that. Just like Gurudeva would take us to Govardhan, and he would offer all of us, not just the food that we made. He would say, state your name. And we would all say our own. And Kishori, Mohan, Sudevi would say Sudevi, and she would name all of her family members and friends. And then Gurudev would offer all of us as an offering at the lotus feet of Giriraj Maharaj. So there's not a separation. Beside the fact that Tadyanam Samarchanam, who is giving their love and affection to Krishna, Srimati Radhika wants to serve that person. Why? She is the most humble. Her mood is, if anyone can serve Krishna better than me, I would gladly push them forward. Whoever is somehow giving their service, let me engage that in Krishna's pleasure, in his service. Because she is the form, the embodiment of Hladini Shakti. She is Krishna's pleasure-giving potency. So there's no difference, essential difference. So therefore, who is helping to give pleasure, to give happiness to Krishna? She feels that this personality is dearer to me than my own heart and soul because they are serving Krishna. So therefore, Shri Balavi Jivan. Does it make sense? Okay. So we will continue from here. Thank you for that beautiful question, Balabhadra.
Jiva Pavana Prabhu says Srimati Radhika is also known as Sarva Jagat Tera Mata.
Srimati Radhika is also known as Sarva Jagater Mata, means the mother of the entire universe.
But if everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna,
say it out.
I'm asking, then automatically, anyway, that Hladini potency within the heart to love is also hers. It is also her Shakti. And when it is being utilized for Krishna, then it is not separate.
So Sudevi is making a very amazing point right now. The tendency to love, to give pleasure, to give happiness, this is a manifestation of Hladini Shakti or Ananda, right? Krishna is composed of three Swarup Shakti, Sat Chit Ananda, manifest as Sandini, Samvit, and Hladini, pleasure potency. That, in essence, is the property of Srimati Radhika, and it is only exclusively meant for Krishna's pleasure. So, and the fact that any jiva also possesses this within themselves, this is also still her property, only we are misusing it in this world to give pleasure to ourselves, these bodies, and the bodies of others. But it is meant actually for Krishna and his pleasure.
Therefore inseparable.
So to utilize that, actually this is her energy, her property. It is exclusively for Krishna. So it is not really different from herself in essence, because it is Ananda, it is Hladini Shakti. And Prabhupada writes that Srimati Radharani is the medium by which one's love and affection connects or touches Krishna. She is that medium. She is love itself. That's why she has that name, Mahabhav Swarupini. She is love itself. And so if we're giving love, that love itself is her property. And love is only meant for one thing. Love is only meant for Krishna. What's funny?
Says, to LV Yogi, she was just saying pranam to your memory and how much you can recall in the kirtans. It's very inspiring. And Vichitri says, yes, I hope to take birth as Kishori Mohan in my next birth. Okay, just continue.
Jai. One time someone told Srila Gurudev, no, I have to say this.
She's joking.
I know, Srila Gurudev, they told Gurudev, I want to be a brahmachari in the mutt in my next life. Gurudev became quite fierce with them. Have I told you this? Have I told you this? So many brahmacharis, they just want to go to the West and get married, do all sorts of nonsense activities. You should only have one goal. One goal. Have no other desire. Whenever we would do parikrama, he would tell us, have no other desire. What should our goal be? What is our goal?
Radha Dasyam.
What kind of Radha Dasyam?
I only want to be the Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika in the gun of Lalita Sakhi under the guidance of Sri Rupa and Raman Manjari.
Haribol. That is our goal, that is our hope, that is our aspiration. Trust me, you don't want to take birth as me next life. Hare Krishna. So, but Radhe Radhe Dandava Pranam Vichitra Didi. Just so you all know, she's very, very senior to us.
And she's making fun.
And she can share so much wonderful nectar with all of you. We've received her notebooks.
Countless treasures.
From years and years of taking notes during Gurudev's class, and you cannot imagine how beautiful the treasures are in those books.
And if you come to Vrindavan, she sits down and gives it freely if you give her the opportunity.
Oh, that's what she loves to do most. If you'll ask her about Gurudev and Radha and Krishna and the path of bhakti, her heart opens up, and you would think, my God, this person is like endless energy of bhakti. So nice. So here we go. Continuing. Gurudev is telling that from time to time, Gopkumar's guru would manifest in front of him, give him any instruction, and then, just like lightning, disappear again. If we are coming to that level of depth of relationship, so deep that my Gurudev is mine, that I have mamata, and that I am my Gurudev's. I belong to my Gurudev, and my Gurudev belongs to me. When that relationship becomes very thick, also through chanting your mantras, your Guru mantra, Gurudev has given himself to you in the form of your Guru mantra. So as you're chanting your Guru mantra and Guru Gayatri, it's in the beginning sounds like a bunch of syllables, but just like Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not different from Radha and Krishna and their meeting and separation, which means it's also not different from their praying Murti, who is Sri Sachinandan Gaura Hari, because he is the form of their meeting and separation. Abhinatva Namanamino, there's no difference between the Supreme Lord and his name. In the same way, Guru Mantra and Gurudev are not different. And if we're really sincere and we have faith and we cry and pray, even through our Guru Mantra, Gurudev can manifest. Gurudev will manifest. And if you try it with faith, perhaps you will see. Gurudev has already explained that I am closer to you than the air you breathe. Gurudev is known as Atma Bandhu, the best friend of your Atma. The Atma does not require oxygen. Nothing can if you cut off all air, this won't kill the Atma. So even if you have no oxygen, still, the body won't be able to survive, but the soul will survive, and Guru is the best friend of the Atma. Therefore, I am closer to you than the air you breathe. Gurudev said that we should see ourselves like a baby, so deep within the womb of its mother. How close are we? How close are we? And how Gurudev is giving all nourishment and removing all impediment, all unfavorable things.
So close that we can't even see.
Like the umbilical cord. Through that umbilical cord, all the nourishment that the mother is consuming is going to that baby. And through that same umbilical cord, all of those things which are unfavorable for the baby are being washed out through the mother. Gurudev said, you should see that I'm so close, I can't even see. And what is that umbilical cord? Japamala.
Hare Krishna.
Our Japamala and Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And as he told Sudevi, while chanting like that, crying, weeping, and calling out, Ha Gurudev, Ha Gurudev. This is more than chanting lakhs and lakhs of Harinam. And this is service to me, he said. So here, Gurudev is telling that Jayanta, the guru of Gopkumar, would appear and disappear like flashes of lightning. What time is it?
You've got 15 minutes.
Okay. He would tell Gopkumar one or two things and then he would disappear. But we are so fortunate that we have been given the opportunity to spend so much time in the personal company of our Guru.
Before you continue, there is an important question. Shamdas Prabhu is asking, can I truly become that close to Srila Gurudev, even if I've never met him personally?
Yes, absolutely. It is possible. And we should have no doubt about this. Before I came to my Gurudev, and I can say that this is the same for hundreds if not thousands of the disciples of our Gurudev, we had certain ideas of certain personalities. And our Gurudev gave us relationship with them, made us feel close to them. For example, Srila Govinda Maharaj. We didn't know much about him. I had seen him once or twice. I had some appreciation for him. But every year, from 1996, my Gurudev would engage all of us in observing the appearance and disappearance celebration of Srila Govinda Maharaj. He even told us personally, myself and Sudevi, and I think one other devotee, we were in Singapore with Gurudev at Dr. Gupta's house on the 17th floor. And he told us, I could no longer sit still. After the disciples of Srila Govinda Maharaj came to me and were weeping, he said, first I felt I didn't need to go anywhere. So many were coming to me, they were asking questions, and I was happy doing my bhajan in Vrindavan, in the Dham. He said, but after so many came weeping to me about how Srila Govinda Maharaj was mistreated, he said, I could no longer sit still. I had to do something. I had to come out. So there's some mamata that he had for Srila Govinda Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj's disciples that made him feel that I can no longer sit still. I have to move. I have to give. And he gave us relationship with Srila Govinda Maharaj. So much so that when we read from Srila Govinda Maharaj or hear from him, we become like mad, crazy. He makes us crazy in a good way. We're like, my God, this is amazing. We have so much deep appreciation for him, which we didn't have before we met our Gurudev. He gave us relationship with him. Growing up in ISKCON, I had a certain idea of Srila Prabhupada. He was the cookie man. He was sweet, and so many nice things about him. And we had a very awe and reverence mood toward him every day in front of the deity of Srila Prabhupada. And Gurudev started telling us personal things, experiences with Prabhupada that he had had, bringing out a certain personality that we didn't know, and increasing our appreciation for Srila Prabhupada, and then telling us about the greatest glory of Prabhupada, who he is, what he came to give, Gauravani Prachar, and who he represents. He represents his Gurudev, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, and what is his highest glory? So he was giving us even a deeper relationship with Srila Prabhupada, and then all of the other Guru Varga as well, including Rupa Goswami, to the point where we hear those names and we feel, yes, this is my family, this is my person, and I feel close to them. So Gurudev, if we come in contact with any Sri Guru, that Guru can help us, because they have realized their relationship with these persons, to feel a kinship and develop a relationship with these personalities. And when the time is right, they will introduce us to them.
So two things. After I read to you what Vichitri, Didi, and Jiva Pavana Prabhu have said, I would like you to maybe speak what Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj spoke about the peacock and like this. So Vichitri is saying, Ramanujacharya never met his guru Yamunacharya when he was living. Yamunacharya had just left when Ramanuja arrived, but Ramanuja knew his guru's inner heart and was accepted by all as his successor. And Jiva Pavana is saying the connection is a matter of heart, not proximity. But we have to be careful about Ritvik in this idea.
Yes.
So can you speak something? Thank you. These are very beautiful
Yes,
qualifications.
these are very important
and
points.
questions.
Also, Madhvacharya, who did he receive initiation from? From Vyasadeva, directly. Although Vyasadeva manifested thousands and thousands of years before him, still, he met directly with Vyasadeva and received initiation from him. These are not ordinary personalities. Ramanuja is the younger brother of Sri Ram, that means Lakshman, manifesting in the form of Ramanuja Acharya. He is Guru Tattva himself personified. So he is also able to be in that role of being Guru for the whole world. And Sri Jamunacharya recognized that, and his fingers were closed when he left this world. Ramanujacharya knew his heart and spoke it out loud in front of all of the disciples, and gradually each finger opened up. All of the disciples realized that this Ramanuja understood the heart of our Gurudev, and they decided that he would be the successor. But Ramanujacharya didn't immediately accept that position. First he went and took shelter of each of those Vaishnavas, the disciples of his Gurudev, and served them and learned from them for so long about their Gurudev's katha, his nature, his qualities. Serving all of those Vaishnavas, then he eventually accepted that position, but it wasn't an instantaneous thing. And Madhvacharya is no ordinary personality either. Madhvacharya is an incarnation of Hanuman, Bhim, son of the wind god. He's a divine personality, an eternal associate of the Lord. So he is also beyond the material workings, and he has shown that he was able to go and take direct initiation from Vyasadeva. Nowadays, there's a concept that we can go take direct initiation from anybody at any time, from anyone who will tell us that now you are the disciple of Rupa Goswami, or now you're the disciple of Brahma, or you're the direct disciple of Krishna, or direct disciple of Srimati Radhika, or direct disciple of Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, or direct disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Our Gurudev's position on this was quite fierce, quite strict. He said, this is against all Shastra. This is against Guru-disciple relationship. And this is, he said, stay very far away from those persons who are engaged in these activities. They are like animals. Gurudev's own words. We heard it 1,000 times, so we know we must be very careful. So, in this connection, what I was speaking before, we've already actually discussed the process of receiving Sri Guru into our life. Srila Govinda Maharaj, our Gurudev, all of our parampara have said, it is a matter of the sincerity in our heart. To what degree of sincerity I have as I'm calling to Krishna for mercy, not calling, weeping in desperation, or as Jayadharma says, in extreme anguish, to Krishna for mercy. He will hear that prayer and he will manifest in the condensed form of his mercy in front of us as Sri Guru. He will manifest in front of us. So this is also something related to us. Our depth of sincerity will call Sri Guru into our life. But just after Srila Gurudev departed from this world, there were many different persons who were saying things like, actually many different personalities, even seniors, and different groups that had formed. And the idea that was coming from these personalities or groups was, if anyone goes to anyone outside of our Sangha, they're making aparad to Gurudev.
Even any other Mahabhagavat.
They even said, even if they're going to any other Mahabhagavat. Of course, we inherently knew that this was against all Shastra and against the teachings of our Gurudev, because our Gurudev spoke against this concept for years and years and years. That wherever we can receive Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati, Kriyatam Yavikito Pilabhyate, Tatra Lolyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Shukrita Nalabhyate. Wherever you can receive this Krishna Bhakti Ras, the awakening of that, you must purchase it without delay. From wherever you can. This is basic principle, because the only root qualification for Krishna Bhakti Ras is the intense greedy desire to have it. That doesn't mean that we should just run here and there wildly. We should be under guidance, but where that can be nurtured, our intrinsic inherent mood of loving service to Krishna, then we should drink. Now, also these other persons were stating that if someone is going to be your Shiksha Guru, then they must have been physically close to your Diksha Guru, otherwise they cannot be your Shiksha Guru. I felt it was inherently wrong when I heard it, but anyhow I brought the subject to Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. He started his class with, "Are there any questions?" And sure enough, Kishori Mohan, and he's like, "Yes." And I said, "Some are saying that in order for someone to become your Shiksha Guru, they must have been physically close to your Diksha Guru, otherwise they cannot be your Shiksha Guru." Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj said, "We have never heard such things." And then he told a very beautiful shlok from the Puranas. That shlok says that although the sun and the lotus flower are so physically distant, still their relationship is so close that upon the presence of the sun, the lotus flower blossoms. And the moon and the night lotus, although there is so much physical distance between them, still their relationship is so close that upon the presence of the moon, the night lotus blossoms. In the same way, although the peacock and the monsoon rain cloud are so distant from each other physically, still the relationship is so close that when that monsoon rain cloud begins to thunder, the peacock begins to dance. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj explained that physical proximity is not the barometer. It is a matter of the mood in the heart. And we have seen with our Gurudev how he was able to open his arms and give nourishment to so many, from so many different groups who were feeling, let's say, orphaned. Their Gurudev had physically left this world and they were looking for any shelter. And he opened his arms and said, "I will give you help, I will give you milk, I will give you nourishment." He wasn't necessarily physically close to all of those personalities. He knew of them, he might have met them once or twice, but yet, we should understand that Guru is one. I'm quoting Srila Prabhupada here from his lecture that he gave to his godbrothers in 1936 on the occasion of the disappearance day of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He said, "Guru is one who appears in an infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others." That means Shiksha Guru is not different from Diksha Guru. And this is confirmed in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that it is actually aparad. It is an offense to see that there is a difference between them. Of course, we know it is an offense to take a third-class bogus person, as Gurudev said, and place him in the role of Mahabhagavat and say that you are non-different from my Guru. Then this is an offense to the real Mahabhagavat. But if they're both qualified, because they're connected to the same thing, it is Krishna manifesting through them, Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound vibration. They're connected to the same source. So what is manifesting through Guru, whether it is Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru? The same process calls them. Weeping and crying. I am burning in this ocean of material existence. Please hear my prayer. Please be merciful to me. My physical Guru, Diksha Guru, disappears from my vision. And I'm only in kindergarten. It doesn't mean now, like these days, it's like in England, when the king is dead, then everyone goes, long live the king. It's not like that. Oh, my guru has left, so long live the next guru. It's not like that. Guru is self-manifest, real guru.
There's a question from Susan Moon, and I feel that it's important to be discussed before the end of the class. She said, I received first initiation from Srila Narayan Maharaj many years ago, but what is my relationship with him now? I have not followed his instructions. I feel so sad.
If you have received first initiation, that means he has given you Harinam. He has given you Tulsi Mala around your neck, and he accepted you as his disciple. Every time we would receive a letter from Gurudev, anyone, what would he write to us? My dear darling daughter, Sudevi. My dear darling son. You are his dear darling daughter. What does a parent do when a child is wayward or ignorant? They understand. We're weak, we're fallen. Just because you have been neglectful does not mean that your mantra has no power and potency, or that your relationship with Guru is dead in the water. Gurudev explained this once. Someone mentioned that if you haven't chanted your Diksha mantras for 3 days, that you lose your Diksha mantras and you have to go and rehear them from Gurudev. Someone mentioned this in class in Badger. Needless to say, hundreds of devotees went running to Gurudev's door crying, I lost my relationship with you. He said it's not like that. He said they are transcendental. These mantras are not ordinary. Maybe my own chanting might be aparad, but Gurudev placed his Krishna, his relationship with Krishna and my Krishna, my relationship with Krishna, deep in my heart. The fact is that I have neglected to serve or worship Krishna since time without beginning, and I'm in this world, and Krishna is still waiting for me nonetheless.
But he said even death cannot break that connection.
So Gurudev has given us Harinam. Gurudev has accepted us as his dear darling children. Gurudev said even death cannot break this connection. That is why their hearts feel so sad when we don't follow. But how do we make them happy? How do we rekindle that relationship?
And also, what does Krishna say?
How do we rekindle it? We begin to try to follow. If any wayward child wants to do their own thing separate, what can you do? But if they turn around and begin crying and praying and begging and pleading, please, I've neglected you, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, and they make that endeavor, their hearts will naturally melt.
Jiva Pavana Prabhu says a son or daughter may forget their father, but a father never forgets his son or daughter.
And you're a father, so you understand that.
Oh, sorry, Susan Moon is Shanti. Her name is Shanti.
Hare Krishna Shanti.
Thank you.
So you should be assured of this. Our Gurudev once, there was one disciple who actually was passing away from this world. And as they were passing away, they were calling out to Gurudev. Savita Didi told us this story. So Savita Didi was relaying to Gurudev what this disciple had told her as they were passing away from this world. They were calling Gurudev's name. Gurudev, Gurudev. So Savita went and told Gurudev this. And she said Gurudev went into first he started turning red, and then he started shaking. And this mamata, a parent understands mamata. But Guru is more than millions of mothers of this world. Can you imagine? One mother cannot even give up a child who becomes a murderer and goes to jail. Still, she's always praying for his benefit. What to speak of amplifying that love and affection, that caring mood, that compassionate mood by millions of times. It's not possible because Guru is a manifestation of that Krishna in the heart. Chaitya Guru, who has followed us and been with us since time without beginning, although we have been neglectful of him since time without beginning. And yet he has not given up on us. And now he's come externally and taken a form in front of us in the form of Diksha and Shiksha Guru. This is the tattva. Even if externally he might say, I reject, still he can never. It's not possible. So what did Gurudev say? He started shaking. He became red. And he said, even if any of my disciples goes to hell, I will personally go there and take them out by their hair. What kind of loving, parental, affectionate, mood, desperate. At the time of initiation, two things happen. The disciple makes a vow to Gurudev. I will follow your instructions. And Gurudev makes a vow to that disciple. I will not rest until I can bring you to perfection. This is our hope. And that's why Gurudev always told us, don't be hopeless. Never be hopeless. So wherever we are right now, we can continue from here. And that endeavor will begin to glow. And because Gurudev is not an ordinary mortal, Gurudev is no ordinary mortal. He's transcendental. If he sees any disciple making that endeavor, just like any parent or any teacher, seeing their child, the child in school or the child at home, making a sincere endeavor. There might be 100 children that are just sitting there not doing anything at school. Lazy, shooting spitballs at one another. But if one is really trying, really making an endeavor, a sincere, honest endeavor, that teacher will notice because that child will be glowing in a different way than the rest. He's making the endeavor to please. So even if we can't do it for ourselves, we can make the endeavor to do it for Gurudev. For you, I'm going to do this, Gurudev. Please notice me. Please help me. So death will not break this relationship, and death will not break that mantra. He has done pran pratishtha of Krishna in the form of his name, which is not different from himself, within your heart. And our sadhana, our endeavor, our practice, is how to find Krishna. So it's basically a treasure hunt. He has placed that ultimate treasure deep within the recesses of our heart. And our whole process is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, He Radhe, Vrajadevike Chalalite, He Nanda Shunokuta, Krishna, where are you? Where are you? Hare Krishna. Searching for Krishna. This is pleasing to Krishna. This is pleasing to all of Krishna's devotees. This is pleasing to Gurudev. And this will also be pleasing to ourselves. So we will end here. Thank you so much for your beautiful questions. I can tell that so many more deep questions and moods are coming. And I really appreciate Jiva Pavan Prabhu, Vichitra Didi, and the others who have posted and shared these beautiful quotes and the essential truth, the tattvas behind these principles. I really appreciate that you are also sharing.
Also, Balabhadra has a question to ask for tomorrow.
Okay. So we look forward to your question tomorrow. Shri Balavi Jivan Ki Jai. Okay. So we're at Shri Guru will manifest in our lives like and then disappear except for us. How fortunate are we that we received so much time and opportunity to be in the association of Shri Guru. So we'll go more deeply into that tomorrow. Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Sanatan Goswamipada Ki Jai, Shri Gopkumar Ki Jai, Shri Going Beyond Vaikuntha Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. श्याम कृष्ण जय किशोर हरि की जय राधा बिहारी जी की जय राधा की जय गिरिराज महाराज की जय हरे राम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय गौर भक्तवृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि participating so beautifully and really engaging us in this beautiful seva that Srila Gurudev has given us, engaging our minds and our hearts in remembering, in meditating, in really diving deep into the instructions of Srila Gurudev and our Guru Varga. So just thank you so much, and we look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam.
Sweet Dandavat Pranam.
Radhe Radhe Hare Krishna.